The three dogs slowed their speed, gently running up to Billy and the donkey. Billy started to cry. Everything had caught up with him. His emotions were in tatters. What he had done, stealing the donkey from what seemed to be not nice people at all, the sort he'd never come across. He was also worried about going to prison and the shame on his family. It was bad enough to run out during the national anthem, but to nearly knock Her Majesty the Queen clean off her feet. So seeing his three friends and the loving reception made it all come out. The three dogs were incredible. Billy couldn't believe how perfect it was. It was as if they instinctively knew what was going on. None of the usual boisterous fuss. They were slow, quiet, calming around this broken donkey. She was not nervous at all. Billy turned to face his friends. Listen, guys, I wish you could understand me. I've stolen this donkey. They were going to... Billy suddenly thought, would the donkey understand? He couldn't say the words. Well, get rid of her. Basil snarled in anger. Stretchy shot him a look. He stopped. Your master doesn't know I have to hide her with Ashley for now. Please, you understand me? Young Billy's hands were clenched together in desperation. Stretchy gently but firmly grabbed Billy's sleeve in his mouth and pulled him down the hill towards the paddock. Whoa! Billy could hardly keep up with Stretchy's pace. Billy turned around to see Tyler leading the donkey, rope in his mouth, and Basil walking the other side. Stretchy and Basil reached the paddock gate. As the donkey, Basil and Tyler approached, the two dogs had learnt her name was Chestnut. She had been a present for her master's daughter from her grandparents. However, he didn't like his wife's parents. The daughter never even met Chestnut. She was kept inside for 3 years. No exercise, barely any food, and his temper was regularly taken out on her. The daughter now was older and was exploring the property more. He couldn't risk Chestnut being discovered, so wanted to get rid of her, which is when young Billy rescued her. Stretchy jumped up, placed his paw on the throw-over gate loop. Billy understood and lifted it up. Billy led the donkey in. As she came trotting over, the two donkeys met. Young Billy's plan could not have worked out any better. Ashley and Chestnut walked to the barn. Ashley said, there's fresh, thick bedding over there. There's food and drink trough. I know you're hungry, but easy does it. Don't hurt your tummy. Stay in here. Chestnut sobbed. Thank you. Your master. What? Oh, don't worry about anything. You saved my life. No, that was Billy. Yes, of course. As Ashley walked out the barn, she laughed to herself. Chuck, our master. Billy shut the gate, replaced the loop. I have to go. He jumped for joy. I love you all. Thank you so much. My friends, I love you. He ran back to the market, the same way he led the donkey, staying away from the roads. Listen, Chuck, we will have to go to the police. Police? Why are you going to the police, Dad? Billy, where have you been? Here at the market, just looking around. George hugged his son. I thought I'd lost you. George was so relieved. Chuck looked at Billy. His hair was wet from sweating. His face was flushed. Something's not adding up. Billy glanced up at Chuck. Billy's face was hot. He sensed Chuck didn't believe him. He looked away so as not to face him. We're just going to say goodbye to Mr. Watkins. Wish him happy retirement. Billy found this very boring, listening to the adults talking. However, he stood politely and didn't interrupt. 3 times Daddy said, well, we must be off, and they started talking again. Billy came to the conclusion he would not do this when he was their age. Finally, Chuck said, well, we'll keep in touch. Take care, God bless. God bless to you, son. They shook hands. Then George said his farewell. Billy was relieved to leave. Well, it's 2:40. Shall we? George was interrupted by a commotion going on. There was a lot of shouting from the back of the market. What's going on? Chuck asked a passing man. Oh, some bloke had something stolen. Weird, he won't say what. Had this bloke up against a trailer, some whippersnapper. He's accusing him of stealing and lying. The young fellow accused him of reneging on a deal. Neither wanted the police. Strange, very strange. Oh, thanks. Chuck looked at George. Shall we get little and home? Dad, I'm 10. As they neared the car park, Billy seemed jittery. May I come back with you, Chuck, to see Ashley? Son, Chuck's coming back to us for tea, lads. Chuck saw the desperation on Billy's face. Oh, no. Listen, George, I'll have to go quickly. I've only forgotten to fill up. I'll get some petrol. Billy, if you want to, I have to pass my place. I can drop you off and then pick you up on the way back. You can go and see Ashley, if all right with your dad. May I, Dad? Please, I haven't long before Ashley goes to Scotland. All right, son. I'll explain to your mother. George waved them goodbye.